I got you. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our first podcast of Lead Society. This is Christian,
And this is Christian.
and we're doing this thing. This is our
Yep.
number one.
This is what our wives has been pushing us to do, so we're finally going to do it and hopefully make them proud. And hopefully make ourselves proud as we do it.
You got it, bro.
If not,
Don't
we'll
worry
just
about it.
feel better as we do it. So the reason why we decided to start Lead Society was because we both felt very passionate about, being men that are led to do, things that God calls us to do, being men of integrity, being men that push society forward and not be part of the problems, but be part of the solution. We definitely know the biggest problem in society is, unfortunately, men who don't lead. And Lead Society isn't just about men in particular, but that's the main focus group. But it's really anyone who is led to do what they're supposed to do and make a difference in our community, in our families, and really just try to step up to the plate and be led to do what needs to be done. And in being led, you're leading. You know, that's kind of how I felt that Lead Society is all about.
Yeah. That's caveated with working with leading people. Yeah. Leading people in different senses of, how things are going in the world nowadays, especially in America and the enemy countries that we have being in America. Protecting yourself, protecting your family, protecting
Yeah.
the people that are around you. And the main idea is to have a group of like-minded individuals as a led society,
Yeah.
being led by everyone else in the group, being led by us two, being led by, a good leader. A good leader is someone
Yeah.
that, pulls the pack with them and not just leave everybody in the dust. But we do that through all kinds of things, whether that be fitness or firearms training or, even, what am I trying to say here? Like health. Like
Yeah.
keeping yourself healthy and
Pretty much
keeping your-
any aspect that is of benefit to you and your family.
Yeah.
It could be, everyone's got a different thing that they're more led and passionate about.
Mhm.
Everyone's at a different place. Everyone's at a different interest level of the thing. Like some people are not about guns. Like that's like they respect them and they appreciate them. They know their purpose and they know why we need them. They're all about 1776. They're all about Second Amendment. They're all about the rights and freedoms that we have in our country. They're just not really like gun people. They have a few and they're safe because they know that they enjoy having them, but they don't really enjoy training with them. They don't really enjoy using them. They're just kind of there. Then there's people who focus really heavily on gardening or homesteading.
Yeah.
Being there's different levels of being independent, and they're all needed.
Yeah.
You can
Certainly.
you can be independent in thought. You can be independent in, pretty much in thought's going to apply to all of them. But
Sure.
you can be an independent person just letting to just talk on different topics. That's not really for or against government. It's just being
Right.
legit for what's going on.
Yeah.
Then there's people who are leading more on the side of free thinking, as far as like, hey, I want to be independent and I don't want the government to be able to have control over my family or
Right.
my government. I'm all about what the Second Amendment is there for. And it's
Right.
not, the Second Amendment is not there to be viewed negatively, which is what they're trying to do. It's there for the preservation of a free country.
Yep.
It's literally the foundation of our country. That's why you can never remove guns from America, because it's almost like infused in the fabric of our stars and stripes.
Right. And it was written in the Constitution as the amendments, and
Yeah,
27 or 28 of them. That's 27, right?
I don't remember.
That's however many it is. Doesn't really matter.
We have
But
to freshen up on our history.
lots of them,
Yeah,
over 20, and they're all made to amend the Constitution that was made to.
I think it's 26.
Is it?
I think so.
I have no idea.
We'll let it go.
You'd know
'cause
better
I'll
than
probably
me.
forget.
It doesn't matter.
Um,
Anyways,
but, yeah,
that's the whole reason they made the amendments, is because the Constitution was full of flaws. So they amended the Constitution in certain ways to tie it together and make it the best that they could for the people in America.
yeah.
So
At the time with what they knew, and even looking back and seeing what they wrote about, and even to this day seeing how it's applicable. Because they've been there, they've done that.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It seems like, oh, it was so long ago, but people are people, and we tend to be people of habit, and that's why they say it's important to know history so that you can kind of know the future in a sense, because we tend to repeat itself.
Yep.
I mean, exactly what our founding fathers went through. We're starting to enter into very similar appearing type of life and governance. You know, it's thankfully we have the ability to see what they went through and act upon it, hopefully before it's too late.
Yep.
But you know, they didn't have that benefit.
Yep.
You know, they went through it, and we learned from what they went through. We get to learn actually from what a lot of other countries went through as well. China, you know, Venezuela, Cuba, all these other countries that took more of a socialistic route, which is the route that every country tries to go towards. Not because the people really want it, but because typically the people are, I don't want to say ignorant, but are too, I guess uninformed would be one, but also too trusting that the people they put in power don't just want power over them, and they want what's right for them.
Right.
And you don't want to ever live a life that, you know, can't trust anybody. To a degree, you shouldn't trust people with certain responsibilities that you shouldn't trust them with. Like, I can, one day when I'm a parent, like, I trust certain people, but you can only trust so much, because then when you trust more than you should with certain things, it's where you put yourself in a position where you shouldn't be in.
Right.
Like, we should be able to trust that our government's going to take care of us, but it's not their job to take care of us, right?
It's their job.
It's
to
almost
govern.
like when you trust someone else to watch your kids all the time. It's like,
Yeah.
it's not necessarily their job. It's your job as parents to watch your kid and to raise your kid. And there's times where they help out and do things, but like, it's whenever there's an imbalance in I guess, of what you allow people to do. Like our government, like governments are great for assisting.
Yeah.
Like they're not meant to rule over. They're not meant to be a monarchy of sorts. They're meant to help assist the people, not to govern over them, but they're governed by the people. They represent us. Our government structure is the people we put there are supposed to represent us. So if what they're saying doesn't match what we're saying, then they don't represent us.
Right.
And frankly, they shouldn't be there. Now, we shouldn't have put them there.
Cheers.
Now, there's a lot of people who are placed there under the idea that they're a certain way, and they flip. Now, when that happens, we should do a better job of removing those people. But
Money changes people very quickly.
money changes people.
And politicians are crooked.
Yeah, and really it's power in general. Because
Yep.
throughout centuries, it's whatever has been, people just want to have power over other people.
Certainly.
But definitely with Lead Society, we want to target the audience of people who are, I mean, we don't mind targeting the audience of people who are already all into this. I mean, that's
Yep.
wonderful too. We get to not only, they get to hopefully learn something they don't already know, but we get to benefit off what they choose to, inform us about.
Yeah.
But definitely the people who kind of feel like they're in kind of the middle of like no man's land, where like we live in the city, it's hard to do homesteading. You want to do homesteading, we're all working. Okay, well, what can you do though? Maybe it's not chickens, but maybe it's buying chickens from someone who homesteads. That also helps them do their homesteading,
Right.
which also helps the community as far as independence, because as you buy eggs from them, someone else buys eggs from them, then they're encouraged to have more chickens,
Yep.
which is encouraged
Certainly.
capitalism in general. The more independence we have, the better, and the more we help each other out and rely on each other as a community rather than doing this whole thing by ourselves, the better off we are. And you just do it the best way you can in your current situation.
Right. I think all this kind of originated because both of us felt like we didn't really have another person that was kind of like-minded as we were.
Yeah.
And granted, we're both giant gun nerds and
Yeah.
LARPers and gear queers, but hey, to each their own.
It's all fun and games until it's not.
Yeah, absolutely. But you find the people that are like-minded, like this guy here,
Yeah.
who I've known for,
Just happens
Was
we
it-
have the same name.
yeah,
but
just so happens.
That's just a bonus.
Yeah, and yeah.
Yeah.
Known this. How long have I known you for? Like 10 years, something like that. A little less.
Probably
13 or 14. I've been 13 or 14 when I knew you.
Oh my god, not that long.
No.
Probably since my junior year of high school,
You're old
I
though.
think. Yeah. So graduated in 2015. So since
You
2013.
graduated 2015?
Yeah.
Gosh, you really are old.
So almost 10 years now.
Jeez, that's crazy.
Yeah, almost half your life. So
No kidding. So,
And the
No,
smaller half of mine. But
yeah, well, whatever. We've known each other for that long.
Yeah.
And we both wanted to do the same type of thing. And never really got the right, like, never started on the path. And then we had different ideas for what we wanted to do.
Yeah.
And then we just, like, hey, instead of making some kind of business or anything out of this, let's make a group of individuals who are like-minded. Maybe it's not about guns. Maybe
No.
it's not about mobility.
It's whatever the community needs
Yeah.
to grow in the direction that it needs
Absolutely.
to go. Now,
Yep.
guns is definitely a part of it.
Yes.
You can't have independence without a way of defending yourself. So
Right.
guns is a part of it.
Yep.
And not just having guns, but actually knowing how to use them. And I mean, it's great to learn how to use them in self-defense, 5-10 yards, but how do you use them against another trained individual?
Mm-hmm.
Now, those are different levels. Obviously, you go as far as you want to. But, being able to be food independent, understanding health. You don't want to be stuck on medication all the time. You want to eat healthy. You want to be able to understand the natural remedies and things your body doesn't need that they try to tell you it needs. Because if you can't have independence in protecting yourself, you can't have independence in what you eat or where you get your food. You don't have independence on your finances. You don't have independence on education.
That's a big one.
Then you're stuck. You
Yep.
can't do anything.
Yep.
It's no different why it wouldn't really be beneficial for us to go to war with China right now. They make most of our medical
Yeah,
supplies
that would look
as
really
far as
bad.
like our drugs and stuff like that, and
Yep.
most of our products. Like we're not in a good position. We
No.
don't have, if they really wanted to, they cut off supply. And though we could be fighting war with them, but if our country, the individuals during the time of that war have no access to these things that are needed,
Sitting ducks.
sitting ducks.
Yep.
And even though you could be fighting a war and have plenty of supplies for your soldiers, if you don't have supplies for your people, it's not a good position to be in. And you never want to be in a position where someone has a grip on you as you're trying to do what you're doing. It just never works well.
We are in a war with China, though.
Yeah.
In a proxy war.
Yeah.
That's for another podcast.
It is another podcast.
It's a whole
But
subject matter.
It's
we
a
can
whole
go into
different
later.
subject matter of different kinds of warfare that we're dealing
Yeah.
with. But
Anyways,
yeah.
so that's kind of what we're doing, man.
Yeah.
Any of it. I mean, any of the stuff, we're all about it.
Yeah, and we don't exactly know where this becomes, what
Mm-hmm.
lead society becomes. We just want it to grow with people, to eventually, be able to share ideas, be able to grow together. The most important thing is for people to realize they're not by themselves.
Right.
That there's other
Absolutely.
individuals who are very much interested in maybe not all that they do, but at least a portion that they can grow together on. And then those
Absolutely.
people will also meet other people who enjoy and have a good reason for doing what they don't feel comfortable with doing, and
Yep.
then that encourages them to at least learn a little more.
Yep.
Because the more independence as a people that we have from any form of government or any body of people, the better off we are. And ultimately, we don't want to be led by government, and we don't even want to be led by ourselves. We want to be led by the morals that our country is founded on. The morals of the Bible and the morals of what men should be, what women should be,
Yep.
and how that should look.
Right.
And that's what we want to advocate for. If it becomes more of a overall community, wonderful. If it becomes mostly about guns and that's where it kind of goes and where people want it to go, great. And if it becomes about our wives doing videos on being mothers and natural remedies and how to eat healthy and what to pick at the grocery store, what not to. It doesn't always have to be like what to grow in your garden, but it could be like, hey, what do you pick from the shelves?
Yep.
Everyday life that
Yep.
most people go through. What do they call it? Urban homesteading, I think.
Sure.
Have a little garden in the back if you want, if you can do it, and buy stuff from people who do their own stuff so that they can afford to do it better for others.
Right.
That's kind of what the goal is.
For sure. I agree. 100%. Took the
And I
words
think
out of my
that was
mouth.
a little bit of a mic hog, but
Nah.
we'll fix that
Don't
for
worry about it.
episode
We'll worry
two.
about it. Yeah, that's fine.
But
But bottom line, all that encapsulated is flag we're sitting in front of represents the land of the free, home of the brave.
Mm-hmm.
More land of the free. And this is all about being self-sustaining. Not even self-sustaining. It's about having a community of people, again, repetitively, a community of people that like and do the same things, that want the same thing. You know, somebody who may not be the same political belief as you and I might be a little different in thinking, but you know what? All that aside,
Yeah.
doesn't matter what wing you are, it doesn't matter any of that. It's all about blood here. We're all human beings.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter your race, doesn't matter any of that. What matters is what you want in your life, what you want for your family, what you want for your future, what you want for right now, what you want to be healthy, the ways to protect yourself. Heck, hobbies. This is a fun hobby, man.
Yeah.
Shooting is fun, mobility's fun.
And all of it's beneficial.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not a wasted hobby.
Right. Skydiving would be great, and base jumping and things like that would be a lot of fun. But
It has its applications. Very few.
Well, we're not doing Halo jumps every other weekend.
But I will say it has more applications than collecting shoes. So that is a wasted hobby.
If that hit a nerve for anybody,
Sorry.
too bad.
Sorry.
No sorries. No sorries.
No, I'm sorry for them.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry for them too.
Yeah, that's a lot of money wasted on shoes for perceived value.
I can't say too much because I was gifted a expensive pair of boots for Christmas that I'm not super proud of, but I like them a lot. They're really nice. It's Ostrich boots.
It's more than just collecting, though.
It is. You're right.
Quality of
100%. It is.
Yeah.
It's real leather. It's just,
Well, it's the same reason why I bought an FN. I just wanted to have an FN.
you don't have to rub it in my face.
Okay, you gotta go out.
I'll get there one day.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
You'll get there.
We'll all make big money. Like
The little
one day.
incremental,
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us for
Sure.
today's Lead Society, and we
Sweet.
hope to come back for one next week.
Episode 2.
Episode 2.
To be continued. Dude, we did that thing. Let's go.